Good morning. New and streaming on demand is the documentary Mommy or Daddy.
旦那さんにはお前は二度と会うな。これが離婚なんだみたいな。
After being alienated from her child by divorce, a Filipino-Japanese mother finds she is not alone on her journey and joins a global fight for the rights of all children to be nurtured by both parents. The film is directed by John Ledoux.
Japanese people don't have any idea that Japan and let's say North Korea are one of the few countries that don't have joint custody, and so now that the government has proposed joint custody, people are like doing their homework and figuring out, okay, wait a minute, do we want to become a country that, do we want to be a country that allows, these kids to be separated and all the trauma that goes along with it. So I wanted to focus on just what happens to children as they grow up and how that affects their identity, how that affects their well-being, right, growing up.
Mommy or Daddy is a beautifully filmed and emotionally charged documentary about parental rights. Again, it's streaming on most video-on-demand platforms and gets an A. It's not rated. In selected theaters and coming soon to Netflix is the mystery crime thriller ThePale Blue Eye.
Poe, I need you to discreetly infiltrate the contest.
What is this?
Blood, symbols, rituals.
Oh my lord.
This man will do most anything to cheat death.
A world-weary detective is hired to investigate the murder of a West Point cadet and enlists one of their own to help unravel the case. A young man the world will come to know as Edgar Allan Poe. I chatted with Harry Milling, who plays the young poet.
Was there a lot of research you did?
There was, yeah. I knew that would be the first thing I had to do, was just to read as much as I could, to read everything, in fact. So I read every biography that I could get my hands on. I read a lot of Edgar Allan Poe's work. And then I came back to the script and I quickly realized that I had to do that, but not all of it is useful. There were things I had to disregard, there were things I could really run with. So then it was an exercise of really going back to the script and sort of, I guess, creating a new version of Poe, because I think that's what Scott Cooper, the writer-director, was proposing. Who is Poe before the Poe we know?
The Pale Blue Eye is a rewarding but slow-to-boil mystery. The film's texture is dark, almost colorless, and cold, which adds to the overall ambience of the story. If you like a meticulous and intentional mystery, this one's for you. Again, The Pale Blue Eye is in selected theaters now and coming to Netflix in the next few weeks. It gets a B and is rated R. In selected theaters, Antonio Banderas lets the fur fly in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
I'm supposed to be a fearless hero, a legend.
This is a person party. That's your party.
So this is where dignity goes to die.
Puss in Boots discovers he has burned through 8 of his 9 lives and sets out on an epic journey to restore them by finding the mythical last wish.
It's very difficult to describe when you are acting in a movie with your voice. You're just giving them your voice session after session in voice that is not attached to any image at the beginning. You're totally free to just establish a rhythm in which you're saying your lines. You can go in volumes, you can just touch a number of things and you just get an agreement with the director and different creators when you are doing it. But then when you start receiving the results, it was for me the most spectacular of all this time. I was in awe of the subtleness, the little expressions that they were able to capture.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a devilishly funny and satisfying animated feature for kids and adults. Again, it's playing in selected theaters and gets an A. It's rated PG. For ABC4, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.